Namaste, viewers. Today we will look at the story of Ganesha, a second story. This is this has got some relation with moon, Ganapati, and things like that. Let us see the story. The story goes like this. Please listen to the story. It's a wonderful and an enchanting story, uh, humorous story. Some kind of a humor is there. Once upon a time, this Lord Ganesha with his beloved elephant-headed god, known for his love of sweets. He was very fond of sweets, particularly modaka, a type of sweet made with it's kind of a stuffing inside, and then it is um, boiled in oil and then taken out. Modaka, it is called as kadubu in Kannada, and so many languages. It is prepared all around uh, India and particularly South India in various forms. This sweet is quite tasty to eat. He is very fond of this sweet. His devotees knew this very well and often offered him delicious treats to make him happy. See how one can make anybody happy only by giving some sweets, only by giving some eatables. Only then, only thing human will say enough is with eatables. When his stomach is full, he will say yes. Like this, this Ganesha, he was offered lot of sweets by his devotees. On a particular day, a devoted follower of Ganesha brought him large quantities of sweets. He called him Ganesha, was invited to his house. He was completely given lot of sweets. Ganesha was overjoyed and began eating them with lot of delight. He ate and ate and ate until his belly was full and satisfied. His belly was completely full. After his finishing his sweet feast, he decided to head home. He wanted to go home. Now, Ganesha, his mode of transportation was quite, you all know that it is unusual. A tiny mouse, he sits on that mouse and then the mouse carries him. This mouse was his trusted carrier. He carefully gathered all the remaining sweets. He's so much fond of sweets, he collected all of them, bundled it up, and then began his journey towards home on the back of this little mouse. However, this mouse being so small, and then Ganesha also had overeaten so much that he couldn't bear the weight of this Ganesha, this satisfied Ganesha. And on the way, it stumbled and then tumbled off, sending the sweets which he had eaten and carried all scattered in all directions. And then his belly was also open. It was open because he had a fall. Now Ganesha, what he did, embarrassed by this mishap, he quickly collected all his sweets, put it hurriedly inside his stomach, filled it up, then collected the rest of the sweets, bundled it. But his belly had open. He had to tie it up. So he found there was no rope, there was no nothing to this thing. But suddenly one lengthy snake was moving around. Immediately it caught his attention. He caught hold of that snake and then tied it around his belly, tightly tied it around, so that whatever he had eaten, it would not once again, the pressure would not open its belly and then come out. He tied it and then he started his journey again. But Ganesha thought that nobody was seeing him, and he thought that without any this thing, he did all these things. But up in the sky above, the world so high, the moon had been watching the whole incident unfold. Moon in the evening, night, he was sick. He was watching this, what Ganapati was doing. His stomach being opened. He was stumbling on the floor and then collecting all these things. And this moon, he always took pride in his own handsome appearance. He was very handsome. Found Ganesha's round pot belly quite amusing. Unable to control himself, the moon burst into laughter. He laughed so loud that this laughter filled Ganesha with anger. Ganesha could hear this, and then he was very angry when he laughed. When moon, he scolded the moon, calling it in vain, and he gave a shapa. He cursed him. In his frustration, Ganesha placed a curse on the moon, saying that anyone who looked at the moon on this day of Chaturthi, this was a Chaturthi day, anyone who looked at the moon on that day, the fourth day of the lunar month, would be wrongly blamed for something they didn't do. Even if they didn't do anything, even if they had not done any mistake, that mistake would be mistake would be the person who saw that Chaturthi would be blamed. This was his curse. Realizing the gravity of his mistake and the trouble his laughter had caused, the moon begged Ganesha for forgiveness. Please forgive me, please. I am sorry. I did not those things. And pleaded with him to remove the curse. Ganesha, moved by the moon's sincere apology, decided to lessen the severity of the curse. Because once a curse is given, you cannot take it back completely. So he said, I will lessen the severity. He explained that he couldn't entirely remove it, but offered a solution. Ganesha told the moon that those who unintentionally saw the moon on Ganesha Chaturthi could redeem themselves. To do so, they needed to gaze at the moon on the second day of the lunar fortnight. That is Bidige. Bidige means second day. Bidige Chandra. If you see the Bidige Chandra, then they will not get this curse. Then they will. This is the solution for this, he said. They needed to look at the moon on the second day of the lunar fortnight and listen to stories of Lord Krishna or the Samantaka gem. Upakyana, story of Samantaka Mani. If they listen to this, then they will not be bound by this curse, he said. And so, this is what the story is about. And so, this tale teaches us about forgiveness, the importance of not mocking others. See, somebody is in difficulty, somebody has got some this thing. You should not mock at others. It also offers a way for those caught in Ganesha's curse to seek redemption and make amends. So, like this, even if they make a mistake, there will be some remedy for that. This story tells all these two important takeaway lessons. Viewers, thank you for listening to this tale. Please like the Ganesha story, share, and then subscribe to our channel. The story has been in writing in the description box. Please post your comments in the comment box. Thank you for viewing. Like, share, and subscribe.